From the station working for you, this is Good Morning Indiana, streaming now.
It is 5 o'clock here on your Tuesday. Good morning to you. I'm Rafael Sanchez. These are your headlines on this December the 15th. Promoting vaccines. Vice President Mike Pence returns to Indiana to visit a company working on other anti-COVID drugs. The number of COVID-19 patients continues to take a toll on hospital resources, while health officials say a potential crisis is now looming right here in central Indiana. And the pandemic has been really hard on the mental health of young kids. We find out what help is available right here in our state. It is 5:01. Welcome to Good Morning Indiana on this Tuesday. You know, Todd, I just came to realize that usually during a normal week when Lauren is here, I'm just rolling out of bed, getting ready, and so I appreciate Lauren. That's what I just want, and I appreciate you as well, but I appreciate her because I get an extra half hour of sleep, and as you know, in the last half hour, I said it was 5:30 when it was really 4:30. It's really 5 o'clock. Good morning to you. It's good to see you on this Tuesday. A confessional.
Yeah, you
I'm
know,
just confessing.
and you had to make the drive today too, which is another extra half hour earlier.
That's right.
You have to wake up, Rafa.
What is that?
So. It's a cold drive too as you're walking out the door this morning. If you have the opportunity, make sure you warm up your car. Of course, do not leave it unattended for obvious reasons. But it is going to be a cold start to the day with temperatures that are in the teens and 20s. Those are actual temperatures. Live look outside right now. Skies are partly cloudy. 25 in Indy right now. Bloomington with clear skies down to 22 degrees, and you factor in just some light winds between 5 and 10 miles per hour. But look at these wind chill values. We are in the teens in many locations. 16 is what it feels like in Indy. 14 is what it feels like in the Purdue area. The trend throughout the day today is the opposite of yesterday. Yesterday we started with the clouds. We ended with sunshine. This morning the clouds are already building in. We'll have some sunshine to start the day, but overall, unfortunately, it becomes a mostly cloudy day for us in the afternoon. But it's a dry day. And it's an opportunity to get out and about and do some things and run some errands because some of you may not want to be out and about tomorrow as we deal with some accumulating snow across the area. It's not a lot, but a couple inches will be possible. But today is that opportunity with dry conditions and the highs in the low to mid 30s to get out and do some things across the area. You'll just have to bundle up. We'll talk more about that snow, Raphael, for you coming up in just a couple minutes.
Yeah, let's check on your morning commute. Good morning to Carmel, Greenwood, and Zionsville. Let's stay there in Boone County. This is a live look from our in-dot camera at I-65 in Lebanon. As you can see, both southbound and northbound traffic moving rather well this morning. So all is looking well throughout central Indiana. Unlike yesterday where we had some accidents at this time of the day, right now everything is calm and quiet. This morning, we continue to follow the rollout of Pfizer's COVID-19 vaccine to hospitals across the country. In Indiana, Parkview Hospital in Fort Wayne was the first in the Hoosier State to give doses to healthcare workers. Now, IU Methodist Health and others are waiting for their turn in the coming days. Meanwhile, the authorization process continues for other vaccines, including one from Moderna, which could be approved by the end of this week. Today, Vice President Mike Pence will return home to Indiana to learn more about the vaccine production in Bloomington. He'll visit a production facility run by Catalin Biologics. According to the company's website, they're partnering with multiple companies on COVID-19 vaccines and treatments, including Johnson & Johnson, AstraZeneca, and Moderna. The Vice President will tour the facility and also lead a roundtable discussion on the national vaccine effort. Stay tuned for the latest coverage of his visit right here on WRTV, as well as live coverage on the WRTV app. The time now is 5:04, and the rollout of the first COVID-19 vaccine marking a major turning point in the United States fight against the virus. This week, the FDA could authorize another drug. ABC's Andrew Dimbert has the latest from Washington.
It's a major milestone in the fight against COVID-19.
3, 2, 1, vaccinate!
First coronavirus vaccinations now being distributed across the country from coast to coast. Frontline workers, doctors, nurses, and other healthcare professionals who have been fighting the spread of the virus for nearly a year, rolling up their sleeves and getting their shots.
I am the first person to take the vaccine, so woohoo!
Considered the most ambitious vaccination campaign in our nation's history, FedEx and UPS delivering those first doses of the Pfizer medication across all 50 states. And later this week, another vaccine is expected to hit the ground running. The FDA holding a hearing with Moderna on Thursday before possibly giving the company emergency use authorization for its deployment. The life-saving vaccine efforts bringing hope to the country desperately trying to slow the spread of the pandemic. But the reality is sobering. More than 300,000 American lives have been lost from COVID-19. The grim new numbers come with a new CDC projection, as many as 362,000 deaths by January 2nd.
That's the worst public health catastrophe in 102 years since the 1918 pandemic.
The fatality rate is still spiraling out of control. 17,000 in the past 7 days. That's 101 Americans an hour. Friday, the deadliest day of the pandemic, 3,309 lives lost. Healthcare heroes like ICU nurse Sandra Lindsay are urging citizens to do their part.
Don't hesitate. I have seen the other side. It's dark. Please take the vaccine. Please listen to the signs.
A new ABC News poll shows that 80% of Americans say they want to get the shot, though some still say they'd like to wait. Andrew Dimber, ABC News, Washington.
At 5:06, we're taking a closer look at the latest COVID cases here in our state. The State Department of Health reporting 5,050 new cases of the virus on Monday. That brings the total number of cases to more than 430,000 so far. 35 more Hoosiers have also died with the disease. 6,530 deaths have been reported since the pandemic began. The growing cases continue to take a major toll on hospital resources right here in central Indiana. And WRTV's Kelsey Anderson, she joins us live this morning with what a number of hospital administrators from across the area say they need from the public as a potential crisis now looms. Kelsey, good morning.
Hey, good morning, Raphael. So local hospitals, they are facing a potential crisis, they say, as the surge of COVID-19 cases goes unabated. So hospital heads from Ascension St. Vincent Community Health Network, Eskenazi Health, Franciscan Health, IU Health, and more, they came together yesterday to address the current state of the pandemic in central Indiana. The Hoosier State recently named a national COVID-19 hotspot with one of the highest rates of new cases per 100,000 people. Beds, ventilators, and other support systems are being stressed to their limits.
Our staff, our nurses, and all of the healthcare team, doctors, respiratory therapists, chaplains, clinical support teams, the people who clean your rooms have been dealing with COVID patients for almost 10 months. This work is physically and emotionally exhausting.
IU Health has over 1,100 employees on quarantine alone right now. Many are working extra shifts to fill the need. But news of the vaccine to be delivered and distributed on Wednesday to IU Health Methodist Hospital has a lot of people excited that this vaccine is here. Now, doctors say, like other aerosol transmitted viruses, COVID-19 does last longer in the drier winter months, and that is why they are urging people to stay socially distant and, again, of course, limit who is in your household, because like other viruses, like we see with the flu, it is going to last longer in the wintertime. Reporting live, Kelsey Anderson, WRTV.
Kelsey, thank you so much. The time now is 5:09, and throughout this pandemic, the Rebound Indiana has been sharing with you resources to handle the stress that really brought on by this year's pandemic. The CDC says the global health crisis is having a major impact on the mental health of Hoosier children and really kids across the country. In Hamilton County, a social worker with Carmel Clay School says that this is her busiest year ever. The amount of emails from parents seeking resources, she says, has doubled. She's talking with several students each day via Zoom and messages. She says parents should talk to their kids at home about how they're feeling, but also highlight positive takeaways from the past few months.
While you're talking about the challenges, making sure that we are also looking at what are the skills that the student has developed or the family has developed during this challenge, or what are some lessons learned that they have that have come up during this challenge. They can say, we made it through this and it has made us stronger for these reasons.
See their best friend because they're not.
And IU Health psychiatrist also weighed in on this critical topic. She says the amount of kids she's seeing between the ages of 11 and 16, she says, has doubled. You can find mental health resources right now in the Rebound section of the WRTV app. This morning, investigators are working to find out what started a fire and that left one person dead and another missing. This happened just before 8:30 last night at a vacant home on North Temple Avenue on Indy's Near East Side. Neighbors called 911 after hearing a loud boom, and they saw a man run outside with his clothes on fire.
I was laying in my bed watching TV, and all of a sudden I just heard this big old explosion and seen all these flames. It was like, woof, like it shook the whole house. And then when we came outside to see what happened, it was a guy on fire. So we tried to put him out. We telling him to stop and drop and roll, you know, but he just took off running.
Fire officials say that man has not been found, but investigators located another person dead inside the home. The cause of the fire is unknown at this time. Metro Police is now investigating that death. And a murder suspect is on the loose after escaping in Gary. Police say that 22-year-old Leon Taylor of Hammond was being extradited from Texas when he escaped from the transport van. It happened around 3 o'clock yesterday afternoon. Taylor was wearing handcuffs and a leg brace when he escaped. He's wanted on a murder charge for a homicide in East Chicago. Multiple departments are continuing the search this morning with canine units as well as helicopters. At 5:11, it is time to check your temperatures with Todd. Todd, good morning to you on this Tuesday.
And Raphael, you're not going to like those temperatures as you walk out the door here this morning as we're sitting in the teens and 20s. It's going to be a cold but dry commute for us. That is the good news here this morning. And as you come home, temperatures are going to be in the mid-30s with mostly cloudy skies, but it's dry. That is the good news. This area of low pressure, though, you see on your screen, that's some snow off to our west. That could make tomorrow morning's commute very tricky, both in the morning and potentially in the evening. We'll break it all down for you coming up in your Storm Team forecast when Good Morning Indiana continues right here on WRTV.
Welcome back to Good Morning Indiana, and working for you on this Tuesday, Indigo will soon launch a new way for passengers to pay for their ride. It's called the My Key system, and it uses an app on your phone or a preloaded card. The system was supposed to come out with the red line, but there were delays with the vendor and a temporary system was put in place. Now the My Key system is expected to launch in early 2021.
We are so excited about this. It's speeding up boarding. It's a more convenient service for our riders. And it also helps us to get better information about, where people are boarding the bus, what their trips look like.
The new machines will continue to take cash, coins, and credit cards as well. New information about the push to raise teacher pay right here in Indiana. The Next Level Teacher Compensation Commission, a group that was started by Governor Holcomb, recommends that Hoosier teachers would need an average salary of $60,000 to stay competitive with surrounding states. That would be the third highest salary in the Midwest. The average teacher pay in 2018 to 2019 was just over $51,000, which ranked 38th in the country. Achieving the increase would not be cheap, though. It would be an investment of more than $600 million. Today, lawmakers in Washington are set to unveil their latest spending bill at $1.4 trillion. It would fund federal agencies until the end of next September. The bill would cut it pretty close for Congress to avoid another government shutdown by Friday. But party leaders still can't agree on what the pandemic stimulus plan should look like, so Congress may have to pass another short-term measure to keep those agencies afloat in the meantime. The time now is 5:17, and the clock is ticking for Americans looking to sign up for health coverage under the federal government. Today is the last day for open enrollment right here in Indiana. According to federal data, nearly 4 million Americans chose Obamacare plans as of December the 5th. This enrollment takes place as the Supreme Court is considering the fate of the health care reform law. If you need coverage, you can apply online at healthcare.gov. Again, today is the last day to do so, so please sign up. The time now is 5:17. We are heading now to the official WRTV basement with the most amazing Christmas tree you will ever find right here in the greater Indianapolis area. Todd Clausen, good morning to you, buddy.
Yeah, it's a little much. little Charlie Brown Christmas tree. My mom gave it to me in 2007 when I moved to Indianapolis because I had a small little apartment at that point. And who knew we'd be in the basement here in 2020 and we'd bring it back out. All right, if you have your Christmas lights up outside, they're going to look very festive by about this time tomorrow and throughout the day with a little bit of snow on them, as we're expecting some decent snow to head our way tomorrow. This morning, though, it's quiet, and throughout the day today, it's going to be quiet. But look at these temperatures. It is cold out there. 20 in Purdue as well as Richmond, 25 in Indy, 22 in Bloomington. You factor in a little bit of a wind that's out there, and it feels like it's in the teens. 16 in Indy right now, 19 is what it feels like in Terre Haute. The clouds are on the increase already, but I do think there'll be some sunshine here this morning. But overall, it will become a mostly cloudy day for us. And then off to our west there near Denver and in Wichita, that's our next snowmaker that's going to be moving in here during the course of tomorrow. In fact, by about this time tomorrow, we should be starting to see the first flakes make their way into our area. Today, high temperatures once again below normal. We'll be topping off only right around freezing in most locations. 32 in Frankfurt, 33 in Anderson, about 34 to 35 here in Indy, 36 in Shelbyville. And as we slide to the south, temperatures maybe a degree or two warmer. 38 in Bloomington and Columbus, 39 in Seymour. This evening, if you have plans, temperatures will be right around freezing with cloudy skies. So there's no snow throughout the entire day today. So if you want to run some errands, you don't want to venture out in snow tomorrow, today will be your opportunity to get out and about and do those things. Temperatures tomorrow will be in the 20s as the snow comes in. So it starts off as all snow for us across the area. And we'll deal with the snow throughout most of the day tomorrow. So it's not a heavy snow that's going to drop a lot of snow at one short period of time. It's kind of a prolonged duration, and that's good for the roads because that allows the road crews to keep up with it and lets the salt work quite well. But you can see that snow coming in as we work our way into the morning commute. It's kind of scattered in nature, so not everybody's going to see it during the drive tomorrow. And then it kind of fills in a little bit throughout the afternoon hours, but there will be some mixing, it looks like now, in southern locations. So Seymour and Greensburg probably going to see a little less in the way of snow. But everybody's looking at about 1 to 2 inches of snow. Some areas could see up to about 3 inches of accumulation. That's again throughout the entire duration of the day tomorrow. So just kind of plan ahead. It's 1 to 3 inches, but again, it's throughout the entire day. And during the afternoon hours, as temperatures get above freezing, there's probably some melting as a lot of that snow falls. So I'm not expecting super big issues, but obviously it's the first decent snow of the year. And with many people driving and forgetting how to drive in the snow, again, there could be some issues. So just plan ahead. Thursday, mostly cloudy, 36, and then into the 40s for the weekend with some rain showers, Raphael, on Saturday.
Todd, thank you so much. And you let Mama Clausen know that we love the Christmas tree, the official WRTV Christmas tree. This morning, as we take a live look at your commute, this is our in-dot camera at I-65 and I-70 at the North Split. A good morning to Westfield, Lawrence, and Fishers. And for the folks traveling into downtown Indianapolis, you are looking at a good commute on this Tuesday morning. So picky eating is common among young children and I would say some older adults as well. And meals can even be more challenging during the holidays when new food is often introduced. Mandy Gaither has 4 tips to help keep the peace at the dinner table.
Fruits and veggies are an important part of any diet, but getting your children to eat them isn't always easy.
We know that between the ages of 2 and 6 are when picky eating is at its height.
Dr. William Sharp, director of the Marcus Autism Center's feeding program at Children's Healthcare of Atlanta, says around 90% of children with autism have some sort of food-related issue, from sensory to sameness.
So the foods that children with autism, especially in the United States, are gravitating toward are processed foods that look the same, taste the same from bite to bite, from serving to serving.
And that's not good for a child's health. Dr. Sharp says parents of any picky eater should set realistic expectations, give small portions of a new food so it's not overwhelming, add only 1 new food per meal. If the child can talk, give them options.
We've got 3 vegetables here. Which one would you like to have on your plate this holiday?
Finally, celebrate success.
So if a child tries 1 bite of a green bean, we'd say celebrate that. And the next time you present a green bean, one bite would be the expectation. And then after the child's shown multiple times that one bite of green bean is not that challenging, move to 2 bites, but don't move from 1 green bean to an entire bowl of green beans.
For today's Health Minute, I'm Mandy Gaither.
Those are some good tips indeed. A captivating mystery found inside an antique camera. After the break, the story many are trying to uncover 70 years later. You're watching WRTV. So this is pretty cool. A mystery hidden inside a vintage camera has now unfolded for the world to see. Check this out. A 70-year-old roll of film was recently found inside the 1935 camera and developed by a collector. The image opened a fascinating window into the past and sparked a worldwide quest to identify the stars of the photos. The collector, William Fagan, estimates that the images date back to the 1950s and seem to tell a story of a young couple traveling Europe together. Fagan wrote an article about them, and it has since really spread worldwide. Wild theories on the couple include suggestions that they could be movie stars or maybe even royalty. And of course, Todd, if Lauren were here today, I'd have to explain to her that film was used in cameras, and it would be very difficult for her to Snapchat if she had a film with a camera in 2020, of course. So I know she's watching. She's probably going to text me and say, stop making fun of me. But we love Lauren. And we would catch that on film or, of course, on our iPhones. Good morning to you, Todd.
That's right. Right, you know, remember when you get film developed?
It took forever.
The 1-hour moto photo. That was the big thing, and now we just got it on our phone. All right, outside right now we're dealing with cold temperatures. We're in the 20s right now. 21 in Bedford, 20 in Purdue, 25 in Indianapolis. So it's a cold start to our day. Wind chills are in the teens. We'll have a little bit of sunshine to start the day, but as the day progresses, the clouds will win out, and temperatures today aren't going to do a whole lot. We'll be in the 20s throughout most of the morning, and then eventually this afternoon into the low 30s with mostly cloudy skies. But it is dry today. Tomorrow, some snow heading our way. We'll talk more about that coming up when Good Morning Indiana continues right here on WRTV.
From the station working for you, this is Good Morning Indiana, streaming now.
Still need to understand how severe this virus is and the surge that is still going in the wrong direction. But we've got some hope finally, Wolf, and I'm excited.
The first Americans now being vaccinated against COVID-19. Now, on the real 5:30, the message from Surgeon General Jerome Adams and why the former Indiana Health Commissioner says you can't let our guards down. Plus, hospitals across central Indiana working together as thousands of Hoosiers continue to get the virus. How you can help them ease their burden this season. Of course, welcome to Good Morning Indiana on this Tuesday. And Todd, as you know, often I'm stuck in my living room working, of course, so I don't get to go outside at 5:32 in the morning. But when I stepped out this morning, I thought, dag, is this what Todd and Lauren have to endure every morning?
Yeah, you know, I knew the temperature, Raphael, so I didn't even bother opening my front door. But you're right, on a normal day when I'm coming into the studio, that's what Lauren and I endure, these chilly temperatures. In fact, this morning it's running anywhere from about 5 to 15 degrees colder than it was 24 hours ago. Not much of a temperature change in Lafayette, but Bloomington, you're 14 degrees colder than you were at 5:30 on Monday morning, and that puts our temperatures in the 20s. Anywhere you go across the state of Indiana right now, we are well below freezing. We're in the 20s, 21 Fort Wayne, 25 in Indy, 22 is the current temperature in Bloomington. So as you walk out the door here this morning, you'll maybe need the sunglasses briefly this morning, but for the most part, you can kind of tuck those away. By the afternoon hours, skies are mostly cloudy. You definitely need the coat and the hat and gloves throughout the entire day. The clouds are on the increase. The snow is well off to our west. That may be a player in our forecast, or it will be a player in our forecast for the day tomorrow. Today, though, just increasing clouds. It's another chilly day with high temperatures right around freezing. More on the snow, Raphael, for you coming up in just a little bit.
Keep us posted on that, Todd, as we head outside right now to look at your morning commute. We're taking a look south of downtown Indianapolis. This is our in-dot camera at I-65 at South Southport Road, there is maintenance going on in this area for the next couple of hours. So keep that in mind if you're coming into Indianapolis or heading south towards Franklin, Greenwood, Columbus, Jeffersonville, or even Louisville. You'll see that there is some maintenance specifically on the southbound lanes. So the southbound lanes are the ones impacted this morning. We'll keep an eye on this throughout the morning right here on Good Morning Indiana. The time now is 5:33, and Hoosier healthcare workers in Fort Wayne are among the first to receive the first doses of Pfizer's coronavirus vaccine. A doctor, a nurse, a respiratory therapist, pharmacist, and a patient care technician and environmental services tech were vaccinated just after noon on Monday at Parkview Health there in Fort Wayne in Allen County. Just over 55,000 doses of the Pfizer vaccine are being shipped to healthcare facilities across our state. More doses are expected in the coming weeks. Here locally, IU Health Methodist expects to begin vaccinating frontline healthcare workers tomorrow. 5 pilot hospitals in Indiana are receiving the vaccine first. Those include Parkview Health in Fort Wayne, as I just mentioned, Clark Memorial in Jeffersonville, and IU Health Methodist in Indianapolis. Deaconess Hospital in Evansville and Community Hospital in Munster will also get the vaccine. Like IU Health, Deaconess Hospital and Community Health in Munster are still waiting on their first shipments. After the pilot hospitals, the next step will be delivering the vaccine to about 50 sites across Indiana. Meanwhile, the federal government has doubled its order of Moderna's COVID-19 vaccine for a total of 200 million doses. Once it receives approval, medical supply company McKesson will ship just under 6 million doses, similar to Pfizer. Moderna's vaccine is given in 2 doses spaced over 4 weeks. But it doesn't have to stay quite as cold during the shipping and the storage. UPS and FedEx will be in charge of getting that vaccine to their destinations. According to the head scientist of Operation Warp Speed, Moderna's vaccine could be approved by the end of this week and ready to ship soon after. The time now is 5:35, and Meijer Pharmacies will soon provide COVID-19 vaccines inside its stores. Meijer is also looking for bigger spaces, possibly stadiums, to hold vaccine clinics. The company cited its flu shot clinics at Lucas Oil Stadium and Comerica Park in Detroit earlier this year as examples of what could be done and possible with the coronavirus vaccine. It's not exactly clear when Meijer will get and administer the vaccine.
Today, we really did get a shot of hope.
Signs of hope as the first coronavirus vaccines are administered to Americans across the country. U.S. Surgeon General Jerome Adams says the rollout of the first COVID vaccines marked the beginning of the end of the pandemic. But he also warns Americans that having a vaccine is only the first step. Adams says it's key for everyone to get vaccinated when possible. He also says now is not the time to let our guards down as we continue to see a surge in COVID cases, hospitalizations, as well as deaths.
The finish line is in sight. The last couple of miles are the hardest, but we've got to keep running. That's why we need to continue to follow the 3 W's: wear a mask, wash your hands, and watch your distance. It's why it's incredibly important that you get your flu shot. And it's why if you have the ability to give convalescent plasma, because you're one of the 10 million people who've recovered from COVID-19, that we encourage you to give convalescent plasma. These are the things we can do right now.
Indiana's former health commissioner also says it is important to speak with your healthcare provider if you have any questions about the COVID-19 vaccine. The time now is 5:37, and hospitals across central Indiana they're working together. Their goal to make sure the local response to the pandemic is as effective as possible. WRTV's Kelsey Anderson is live this morning with what you need to know and their efforts right here in central Indiana. Kelsey, good morning to you.
Hey, good morning, Raphael. So local hospital leaders, they say that they are facing a potential crisis as the COVID-19 cases continue to rise unabated. Now, they say their bed, ventilators, and other support systems are being stressed to their limits. Hospital heads from Ascension St. Vincent, Community Health Network, Eskenazi Health, Franciscan Health, IU Health, and more addressed the current state of the pandemic in central Indiana yesterday. IU Health has over 1,100 employees on quarantine alone, but news of the vaccine to be delivered and distributed Wednesday to IU Health has a lot of these healthcare workers excited.
It's the first time we can go on the offensive with this virus. And so we've been playing defense we've been hiding.
I heard from my staff the hope, the light at the end of the tunnel for the vaccine. Oh my gosh, it's just there. But we also are frightened.
Some still scared about the back-to-back holidays, doubling the existing surge of patients. Doctors say, like other aerosol-transmitted viruses, COVID-19 does last longer in drier winter air. That coupled with the cold weather forcing people indoors with poor ventilation. They're begging people to socially distance and maintain and limit who is in your household, especially around these holidays. Now, hospitals, they cannot require their staff to get the vaccine based on the language in the emergency use authorization. They also say they will not separate employees who received the vaccine from those who didn't, but instead they will protect all of their employees at the same time. Now, it is still unclear whether the vaccine reduces your symptoms or actually reduces the ability to spread the virus. And of course, we are going to learn more about this vaccine as scientists continue to learn more. We are learning with the scientists as they do their research. We are getting those answers. Reporting live, Kelsey Anderson, WRTV.
Kelsey, thank you so much. Franciscan Health is teaming up with the Versity Blood Center and the Mayo Clinic to help save the lives of critically ill COVID-19 patients. They're part of a convalescent plasma study, and through it, plasma from COVID-19 patients who've recovered from the virus will be collected and given to those sick with the virus. Antibodies from the donated plasma may help that sick patient fight off the disease much faster. A single donation could help save up to 3 lives. You can learn more about the study and how to donate by visiting the link on your screen, franciscanhealth.org/COVID plasma. The time now is 5:40, and the Indiana National Guard expanding its role in Indiana to fight against this pandemic. The Guard is sending specialized teams of medics to provide patient support into those hard-hit long-term care facilities facing critical staffing shortages. Teams consist of 4 to 5 members, and they're trained to assist with personal care, the feeding of patients, and an enhanced infection control. This temporary help will be used when a facility has immediate staffing shortages. New deployments are in addition to the work the Guard is already doing at 534 facilities across our state. Time now to check your forecast, and if your kid is heading out to the bus stop, Todd Clausen has your forecast right now.
Yeah, and you really need to bundle the kiddos up as they do head to the bus stop if they have to do so and aren't doing the virtual learning, because temperatures are in the 20s right now. Anywhere you go across central Indiana, heading home, it's not much better. It's a little warmer, obviously, at 33 degrees, but that is still below normal. So especially if you have to wait for a while for the bus, try to maybe drive them to the bus stop, let them wait in the car, and if not, make sure they bundle up. Now, it's dry throughout the day today, but this area of low pressure off to our west is going to bring us some snow. And by about this time tomorrow, the snow will be moving in. It starts probably just a little bit before the morning commute, so plan on a slick morning drive in spots. I think the snow's a little scattered in the morning before it becomes more of a wintry mix for some of us in the afternoon hours tomorrow. And then throughout the evening drive, it tapers off. But we're looking at a couple inches of snow potentially across the area. We'll talk more about it coming up in Maine Weather, which is on the other side of the commercial break here on WRTV. Stay with us. We're back in just a couple minutes.
Welcome back to Good Morning Indiana. The Indiana Supreme Court has suspended statewide jury trials until March the 1st. Justices cited the need for drastic measures as COVID-19 cases, they continue to surge in our state. The court said more than 6,000 Hoosiers have died from the virus, and Indiana has the 4th highest daily cases per 100,000 residents in the nation. Chief Justice Loretta Rush said by limiting non-essential in-court proceedings, Indiana courts can avoid intensifying the pandemic's impact across Indiana. Courts are still conducting business as they have been since the pandemic began, either remotely or via virtual proceedings. In Washington, the U.S. Supreme Court handed a win to same-sex couples seeking to be listed together on their children's birth certificates. The court declined to hear the case filed by Indiana Attorney General Curtis Hill. Hill was seeking to reverse a lower court's ruling. It found that Indiana's laws, which limits who can be called a parent on a birth certificate, were unconstitutional. Now, we spoke with Jonathan Balish. He and his husband Jacob have an 8-year-old son. His name is Truman. They tell us it just makes sense for both of them to be listed as parents on all of their sons' official documents.
I'm thrilled and surprised, but absolutely pleased that the Supreme Court came back so quickly to reject looking at this. It comes down to equal rights. For heterosexual married couples, there is a presumption of parentage that is permitted to be put onto the birth certificate. And so that same presumption should exist for legally married same-sex couples.
Attorney General Curtis Hill's office says it was disappointed by the court's decision to decline taking up this case. An early Christmas present for Purdue students, boiler up to them for the 10th straight year. The university announces a tuition freeze. Tuition at the West Lafayette campus will remain at the 2012-2013 levels. The freeze will last at least through 2022 through 2023 school year. Undergraduate tuition will remain at $9,992 per year for Indiana residents. Out-of-state residents will stay at $28,794 a year. This will be formally approved by Purdue's trustees in late spring of next year. Purdue also announcing plans to hold spring commencement ceremonies at Ross 8 Stadium. They said this will allow for a safe ceremony for graduates and their families, of course, and friends as well. The in-person event will be held at 10 a.m. on Saturday, May the 15th. Because of the pandemic, Purdue held its May, August, and December commencement ceremonies virtually for all of those young people. A new life for an Indianapolis historic site. The new Bottleworks Hotel will officially open its doors today. The hotel is one of the main components of the $300 million redevelopment of the 1930s Coca-Cola bottling plant. The Bottleworks District, which is located on the north end of Mass Avenue, also includes a theater, food hall, shops, parking garage, and much more. The hotel features 139 rooms and also artifacts from the old Coca-Cola plant on display throughout the building.
This was already a project that was happening prior to COVID, but obviously I think this really makes people really mindful of how they're spending their time outside of the home, as well as where they're spending their dollar. They're going to want an experience rather than just a cookie-cutter hotel or a cookie-cutter experience. They want something really special, and I think that's something that we're delivering with this property.
Guest rooms start at around $250. The garage, food hall, and the living room cinema are set to open in January. And Todd Clausen, snow or no snow, I can't wait to visit that site because I remember, this is how old I am, when that used to be the old IPS school bus lot. So it's a beautiful, beautiful project.
Yeah, I remember when the bus depot was there as well, and it's been fun to kind of see it come along and now finally open. I hope it's going to be a very popular spot here as we go forward here, especially once we get out of the pandemic. All right, this morning, if you're walking out the door, you really, really need to bundle up. Temperatures are in the 20s anywhere you go across the area. 23 in Bloomington, 24 in Muncie, as well as Shelbyville. You factor in the wind, which is not as strong as it was yesterday, but with temperatures this cold, we're able to factor in wind chill values right now in the teens, as you see in some locations. Now, the clouds are on the increase across the area already, and so it will go from any sunshine this morning to just cloudy skies later on this afternoon. And with those clouds in place, we will be dry, though, for the day today. But you see off to our west, this swirl here in the snow, that's an area of low pressure that is going to be heading in our direction as we get into the day tomorrow. And it's probably going to bring us our first decent accumulating snow. I know some of you a couple weeks ago saw a little bit on the eastern side of the state, and we saw some snow showers in Indy, but we really didn't get into much in the way of accumulation. This evening, it's still dry, it's just cloudy, with temperatures that'll be hovering right around the freezing mark. So tomorrow, the snow arrives before daybreak. So it's during the overnight hours. By about this time, though, the snow should be falling. We're looking at an accumulation of 1 to 3 inches across most of the area, with the biggest impact being the potential for slick roads across the area for both the morning commute and then again throughout the evening hours. Now, temperatures tomorrow do get above freezing, just barely, but that is key because there will be some mixing that takes place in the afternoon, which will cut the snowfall totals in some areas. And with temperatures above freezing and roads treated, the roads may not be too bad during the afternoon hours tomorrow, especially if they have some salt on them from all the road crews here across central Indiana. Here's 6 a.m. tomorrow. You can see it's not snowing everywhere tomorrow morning for the commute, but make sure you join us here on Good Morning Indiana, and we'll have the latest for you and let you know exactly where it is snowing. And then throughout the daytime hours, the snow becomes a little more widespread. But you notice again that mixing that's taking place here in some southern locations. That's going to cut your snowfall totals in Seymour and Bedford probably down to about an inch. And then by the time we get to the evening hours, the snow is wrapping up. This is going to be a long duration throughout the day of light snow. And that's a big difference compared to heavy snow for a short period of time where it's tough for the road crews to keep up. So I do think the road crews will be able to keep up throughout the day. Most of us in the 1 to 2 inch range. There'll be some areas that get a little bit closer to 3 inches as we get into the afternoon hours, especially off towards the east. Thursday's a dry day for us at 36 degrees, and then Friday, Saturday, and Sunday back up into the 40s with rain showers in the forecast, Raphael, on Saturday. But again, the focus will be tomorrow as we'll be dealing with snow and some mixing taking place in those southern locations during the course of the day.
Todd, thank you so much. So this morning, please enjoy your commute because based on Todd's forecast, it could be much more messier tomorrow with that pending winter weather coming in. This is a live look on our in-dot camera at I-69 at Campus Parkway there in the Noblesville area. As you can see, traffic in this area for now moving really, really well. But as we know, this is one of those hot spots. So we expect the next few minutes or so as people begin their morning commute that this will get much more busier throughout the morning. Of course, for now, it is all looking great, fantastic on this Tuesday. The Indianapolis Colts say they are lowering the number of people who can be in Lucas Oil Stadium for Sunday's game against the Texans. 10,000 fans will now be able to watch the game from inside Lucas Oil Stadium. The decision was made in consultation with the Marion County Public Health Department. The number was lowered due to the recent spike in COVID-19 cases in Indianapolis and in our state. The normal capacity at a Colts game is 63,000. You're watching Good Morning Indiana right here on WRTV. So good news for your taste buds, bad news for your waistlines. Popeyes is adding a new sweet treat to its menus, chocolate beignets. Restaurants across the country are now offering the new New Orleans-style fried pastries. They're filled with melted Hershey's chocolate and covered in powdered sugar. You can purchase 3, 6, or 12 at a time, or just, in my case, 5 or 6 boxes worth. Todd Clausen, because I believe when you have a chocolate beignet, you're eating a low-cal product. I mean, there's nothing wrong with they're just, they're healthy. Don't they look healthy to you?
Hey. Well, I don't know if they look healthy, but it's not going to stop me from eating one. I'll tell you that much. I mean, I haven't met too many desserts that I haven't liked, so I'm not really too concerned about the calories. I mean, I guess if you eat too many of them. But all right, what I am concerned about is 2 things: the cold temperatures this morning and the potential for some snow in the forecast for the day tomorrow. You're starting off in the 20s anywhere you go across the area, but radar is quiet right now. That will not be the case come tomorrow morning. 21 in Kokomo right now, 23 in Bloomington, as well as Logansport. As we work our way throughout the day today, any morning sunshine will give way to clouds and eventually becomes a cloudy day for us all across the area. And you notice that temperature, 35 degrees. That's all we can do. I mentioned the snow. It arrives by about this time tomorrow. I'll talk about that. Have your latest news, headlines, and traffic update coming up when Good Morning Indiana continues at the top of the hour. Stay with us. We'll be right back.